Welcome to Constant Struggle. I'm Nick Watson.
And I'm Bree Watson.
And Bree, we shot this one? We recorded
this. Yeah, we didn't. I don't think shoot is like camera only, right?
I don't know. Like, what's it called when you're like a radio dude? Like, say you're NPR or doing This American Life, and you go on a recording. Would they say shoot?
Recording. I don't
All
think
right.
so. I think a shoot is camera specific.
We're on an ear shoot.
We're in a shoot for your ears.
In Hamilton.
In Hamilton.
So, where are we doing this right now, Bree?
We're in a Tim Hortons.
The spiritual home of
Hamilton.
Yeah.
This is where it all started. And by talking about Tim Hortons, maybe
we're wide open to sponsorship.
That's right.
Remember,
maybe they'll just give us some Tim Hortons.
Yeah, unfortunately, we've missed Roll Up at the Rim because it's March now, right?
Well, no, we haven't missed it. We just bought a small.
Bree, this is in the
you're
future.
right. I'm sorry. I thought we were going to tell people it was February.
It's fine. I'm just having fun. I'm having a fun time. It's Roll Up the Rim right now.
Full disclosure,
Yep.
It's still February.
Yeah.
Even though the episode will hopefully be released at the beginning of March.
Yeah, because we're doing this about once a month.
Yes.
And that's when months happen.
Yes, once every month.
Yeah.
So we were just going to do a quick little check-in to find out where Nick and I are at.
So
Creatively.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to redo another edit of my short story.
Okay. Why? What's wrong with it?
Oh no! Like talking to our guest today gave me some more ideas about how head shops work.
Oh, there. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just gotta change a couple things,
Okay.
but it'll make it more accurate.
Yeah, that makes sense.
How's Bree doing?
Bree's fine. I just spent the past week not getting any work done.
Oh.
Because Dan and I were invited to be guests on a segment of the Maryland Dentist Show to get a makeover.
And you can see that on Facebook.
You can see that on Facebook. And there's so much there was so much time-wise that went into it that we didn't really expect. Like, they had to come to our house.
I didn't know you could get makeup done for 7 hours in one day.
It wasn't makeup, it was hair.
Oh, wow. That's
the
even
hair
more
took
specific.
7 hours.
What? Who's got that kind of time?
Exactly. So I was like, it's a good thing I don't have a real job.
Germ.
But yeah, because they had to. So my hair was like jet black.
You had to
before.
steal the hair from a young girl.
That's right. This is all young girl hair.
Oh, is that why you're still playing with it?
I can't stop playing with it because it's not mine. I'm not used to it being here, and
It's
I don't
a head
want
toy.
Yeah, I'm like, ooh, it's weird because when it's like your hair.
You were doing that in the podcast. You can totally hear it, by the way. Listen for Bree playing with it.
Touching it. It's so long.
And I found it weird. I'm like, why haven't I noticed Bree doing this before?
And it's also because I never wear my hair down, and this is one of the reasons why it's so distracting. Like, if I'm on stage and I have hair,
Oh my God.
play with it.
You'd be like a little cat.
Meow.
All right. So let's get this back on track, Bree.
Okay. Yeah. So that took up honestly the week. Not that
It looked like it was such a fun experience.
Isn't that fun? How 6 minutes on camera look like it's easy
All
and,
that
and
work.
so fun.
Oh my God. Here's the Bree we prepared earlier.
It's just Dan and I were laughing because we're like, yeah, of course we don't look like adults. It takes us 3 days to turn us into them.
I do that every morning, Bree. What are you talking about?
Turn into an adult?
Yeah, I spend 3 days every morning
Yeah.
to get ready.
That makes sense. Yeah.
to go have an adventure.
At the office. As an adult.
Good night, everybody.
Oh no! What else? Other than your short story, you working on anything else? You doing anything else?
Apparently, Catherine's working on my editing of the book right now.
Uh-oh, that sounds like shade.
Oh, no, I don't know when she's going to have time to do it.
I see.
But it's fine. She helped me with the short story edit.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
She's your editor.
She's totally my editor. Yeah.
How much do you pay an editor?
Nah, I pay her with love.
Aww.
And exposure. I
You
expose
need an
myself to
editor.
her.
Oh, God. Oh no, poor Catherine.
It doesn't expose much.
Gross.
You know what office work is a lot like, Bree? Being in a punk rock band.
Oh, you don't say. Well,
Nobody says that, but...
Did you know our guest coming up was in a punk band? What? Spit take. That was a spit take of delicious Tim Hortons hot chocolate that
Guys,
you can
it's
buy
pretty...
at Tim Hortons.
Tim Hortons. The off-brand. Off.
Yeah. So we talked to Joe Amero in his basement about improv, about finding improv.
What brought it to him?
What brought it to him. and what he was doing before improv. A lot of improv.
And now improv.
And now improv. And a bunch of other
It's different for us to go into improv.
talk about improv. Hey, once you have a huge social network of writers, then
yeah.
we can start talking to them.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah. They're all so quiet and alone online. Hashtag M right.
And they're very, they're totally, or M editing.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Anyway, happy stuff. It was a great episode.
It was so good. It was such a fun chat. Joe's such a great guy. And he's just like crushing it in Toronto's improv scene right now. So I think you'll really enjoy this super fun interview with Joe Amero.
Yeah, have a good time, guys.
Enjoy. Yeah.
So you're right then?
Zip zap zap. Yeah.
So welcome to the constant struggle.
Yay! Yeah.
I'm Nick Watson.
I was gonna find what is it's my
That's
bag.
Bree Watson.
Hi. Well, usually we do the intro and anyway. Hi, I'm Bree.
We've been changing it around.
Yeah, we're playing jazz. And we're here with a very special guest, super funny, super talented, hilarious improviser, Joe Amero. Give it up.
The air horn budget came in. I didn't know.
Nice. We finally put it in. Hi, Joe.
Hi.
How are you?
Feeling good. Feeling a little sick.
Oh no, what's wrong?
Just like a head cold.
Uh-oh.
But good. I feel.
Yeah, well, you got your hot cup of coffee. That'll fix that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll fix it, but it'll make you feel.
Man, let's go to WeatherPod.
WeatherPod.
Man, the weather, eh?
Straight on to WeatherPod.
Like super cold, then warm again.
Yeah.
It's like a weather yo-yo.
Everyone's gonna be
Schizophrenic.
sick.
Yeah.
Gross.
Did you have your flu shot?
No, I don't. I never get a flu shot.
Okay.
I did this year
Interesting.
and had 17 flus. No flus. I'm
Okay.
fine. Yeah, it's all good.
I did this year only because my nurse finally. Usually, I'll go in and get like a needle, and I'm not really good with needles at all. So this year I went in, and she's like, "Okay, well, you have to get like your blood tested for whatever. You have to take your blood test whenever you take like any kind of medication or whatever." And I was like, okay, cool, but I'll probably faint because I usually do. And she's like, here, okay, well, what's something you like on your phone you could just like look at? And I was like, Instagram pictures of cats. So I just like scrolled and looked at Instagram pictures of cats. And she's like, well, while you're here, like I know you don't want to maybe get 2 today, but if you want to get your flu shot, I'm like, I'm fine. I got these cats. I am good.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah. So that's why I got mine this year.
Man. I feel like blood techs right now are like needle ninjas because mine was like, all right, take a deep breath. I'm like, okay, and then it's in.
What? Okay,
I didn't even
you've got
feel
a really
that.
good one
Yeah,
because
she's
most
awesome.
of mine are like, where? Oh, not there. Oh, I missed.
Yeah.
Oops, drunk when they're doing it.
Oh, that's not
No, they're
good.
not drunk.
That's not handy at all.
Yeah, they're horrible with the kids. Adeline
No.
remembered. We brought Adeline in for her like second shot, like when she was younger. And as soon as the nurse walked in, she looked at her, and the nurse took a step back and was like, "I think she remembers me."
Oh no!
And she just locked on her and was just like
I know.
screw face across the room. Like,
Oh.
oh, she does remember
The
you.
pain bringer is here.
And I think she hates you.
Oh, well, I mean, with good reason. That's not a good job, especially when
Yeah.
you're a kid.
Yeah,
You know, like,
that's
you
just the
don't.
needle lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Well, for Christmas, we're gonna give the needle lady a card, and we're gonna. No, she doesn't deserve
No,
one.
no to the needle lady.
Bah humbug.
We used to
Needle
get, like-
lady.
Our doctor gave us sugar cubes when there was like a booster needle involved. So I was like,
We
all
got
in.
sugar cubes.
I remember that.
I don't
yeah,
remember
Dr.
they were-
Peneplum.
I remember Dr. Peneplum. I don't remember sugar cubes.
These guys weren't giving out suckers or nothing.
What?
So the third time we went in, I was just like, I told the technician, just mix me up a saline and shoot me first so she sees it's okay,
that's
right?
Kind of smart, yeah.
So she watched, I got my shot, and she was
Aw.
like, okay. And then after that, she hated both of us.
A
web of lies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saline. A lot of people are getting those like
Water?
stuff. Not water. Wouldn't that kill you?
No,
Just water.
water's
No,
fine.
that's air. They put air in your.
Yeah, that would kill you.
You get like IV stuff, like I guess IV drips to like replenish your.
Oh, just
Yeah.
like a elective
Yeah.
IV session?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
for after you have a nasty hangover or something, right?
Well, I know like people who do that after they have nasty hangovers, but now it's like part of it, like spa treatment if you want.
And
Yeah.
they do that with like ECT, like electric shock therapy too.
Ah!
people
You
go.
just get that for fun?
Yeah, well, I don't know, for fun.
Just
but
a reboot.
Yeah, they just
get the software
thank you.
going.
I don't like that.
It's like,
I'm out.
it's like defragging your hard drive.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Do you still have to do that?
I don't know.
defrag
Your hard drive?
Yeah.
I guess if it gets fragged.
Oh, my computer got fragged again. All right, Joe, tell us a little bit about yourself. You're an improviser.
Yes.
When did you start improvising?
Like 4 years ago, I'd say.
Okay.
So still fairly new.
Okay, and where did you start?
I started at Second City Training Center.
Okay.
And my wife was pregnant. And we went and seen Night of the Living Dead live.
Okay, I was like, so not a Second City.
No, it was like this. But there was people that were through Second
yeah.
City on, and it was like done in black and white, like in
cool.
grayscale, so it looked like the old movie. And I was just like, it just hit me like, that's what I want to be doing. Is like,
cool.
like making people laugh, because I do social work, right, for a job, and it was like I was going through school then. It was like, and I was working in the field, and it's always a headache. And I was like, that's what was I thinking? Why didn't I go that way? So right away I went home and went to sign up for Second City, but I chickened out and clicked comedy writing because I had no theater experience or improv experience at all. So when it came right down to it, I clicked comedy writing, and so I did that for a year first.
Okay,
and then,
that's a good way to get your
yeah, that's not
wet.
bad.
Yeah. By the time that was done, I was like, okay, screw this. Like,
Get me on
sign
stage.
me up.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So I did AD at Second City Training Center, and then I did Long Form Conservatory.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Yeah, and then I did the Sketch Conservatory after that at the end. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So you did, yeah. So you like found it and like turbocharged your way into it.
Yeah, I loved it. Right away for
That's
sure.
amazing.
Yeah, and then from the Long Form Conservatory, that class is what became Pepperoni Pizza Cats, which is my long form troupe.
Yes.
To
and
this day.
You still perform together with
All
the
the time.
assembly, and then you have your own monthly show.
Yeah, house team in the assembly, and then I produce a monthly for us at SoCap, third Wednesday of every month, and then the assembly shows and wherever else we can.
Yeah, you guys have done a couple of the festivals too, right? Because I remember seeing you guys in New York.
Yeah, DCM a couple times, Detroit a couple times. Now we're going to Ottawa at the end of.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah.
It's gonna be cold, so make sure you dress up.
Yeah.
Bring your skates, man. Skating on the Rito's fun.
We'll bring these shawls.
Yeah, that's a smart idea. We're in
Where
Joe's
is the
basement
assembly?
right now.
Is that a dedicated place in Toronto?
Well, they just have a place now, but they were just like kind of like homeless.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They had like a place to have shows, and that was at SoCap and Comedy Bar.
Right.
And Cahoots, because Cahoots is the only accessible location. And then where were all the classes? I guess the classes were all at
Different spots,
all over the place. Yeah, at SoCap's, I guess Lemon Tree.
Yeah. Yoga studios and
studios.
wherever there were
wow.
spaces.
All right.
Yeah.
But now they got their like own.
Now they have
got the
space.
cabin.
Yeah, they call it the cabin. Yeah.
Cool.
Because real estate is expensive. In
Oh,
Toronto.
man.
Yeah. Exactly why we're recording this from my basement in Hamilton.
All right, the hammer. But you're not from Hamilton originally.
No, Toronto, born and raised.
Okay.
But when we had Adeline, we wanted to buy a house, and this is where we could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you're looking at me. I live in Niagara, so
Yeah,
I
exactly.
understand.
Same,
Yeah, man.
Same deal.
The market's like spreading.
Yeah.
Hamilton's cool. Hamilton is like I don't know, it's like a rebirthing vibe coming to it, I think.
Yeah, I was telling Nick that gentrification here
It's
is
coming.
serving us
that's
well.
not what I mean.
The
I mean,
Starbucks
like, yeah, all that
monsters.
gentrification
No,
is cool.
I like it. There's
But I
good
guess it's
burgers.
something. Oh, there you go.
And there's no history here for me because I just came here.
Right.
A part of the problem of what the people complain about
It's
the place being gentrified, right?
Oh, and you're like,
all
okay,
these
well.
all these 416ers
These
living
people
here.
coming to Toronto or from Toronto, and you're like,
Yeah, and I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tasty burgers.
I just heard like a punk song this week, and it was called like something I Love My Burrito, and it's all about like first you get the Mexican restaurants, then the fancy burgers, then Starbucks, and then Gap, and then gentrification all over the place.
You know, they have a good burrito place in St. Catharines, so
Oh no,
for sure
it's
happened.
happening.
It's already happened. We had Starbucks a long time ago. Thank you. So you're a social worker in your like day life.
Yeah.
And-
Social worker by day. For sure.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's not crazy. It's like an amazing thing to go from one to the next, right? To the performer. Like, what do you do as a social worker? Are you allowed to talk about it?
Yeah, I can't tell you where. I won't say where I work,
Okay.
but I work for a city.
Okay.
That is not Hamilton.
Okay.
And I do like street outreach.
Oh, all right.
And we work like primarily with like the hardcore homeless people that aren't using shelters and stuff, like the people that are sleeping out rough, like
Oh man.
Yeah.
So I'm on the outreach side, and we have like a counselor side, like a housing counselor
Okay.
section. So we try to like make the connections with the homeless people and see if they're interested in getting some housing, and do the intake with them and some paperwork, and then pass them off to the housing workers.
Okay. And are they usually pretty receptive to it?
No,
or
they tell you to fuck off all
Right,
the time.
okay.
But you got to chip away, right? And just
Right.
like just try to build a rapport, and
Right.
you know, and a lot of it is like checking in on them, you know, during like cold weather alerts and
For
stuff
sure.
like
Well,
that. And
can you get them to go in when it's cold weather, or is it still the same? Like
it's a
fuck
lot.
off
It's a
and-
lot of fuck off all the time. That's a theme. But when it does get cold enough, even like the biggest fuck offs,
It turns into, oh, fuck off.
They don't want to die.
No.
Yeah.
And they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Brutal.
yeah.
Which is why you're trying to get them in. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
So,
God, that's rough.
I know a lady who might be listening to this podcast based on your job.
Yeah.
Catherine.
Your wife?
Yeah.
Okay. And based on the fact that she's married to you?
No, that is not a reason for her to listen
For
to
her
this
to-
podcast.
okay, all right.
No, it's work related, and we'll leave it at that.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Because of where she works.
Yep.
Oh, this is a government of a province that we won't name. That isn't Manitoba. You know?
That rhymes.
And who until fairly recently actually cared about poor people.
Right,
Now they
exactly.
don't exist
No.
anywhere, so that's
Well,
fine. It's
Not
fine.
that they
It's all
don't
good.
exist. They just don't want to.
What? No.
They're
it's
not
all,
here?
It's all
No.
good.
Okay.
It's all good.
Ugh.
Maybe the illegal immigrants took it. Nope. Sorry. Sorry. Not a thing.
And how'd you get into social work?
Just like a natural progression from like, I guess just like being kind of street involved, like growing up in and around the streets, and then you, if you get sober, like every ex-punk rocker I know is,
Oh man.
either dead or a social worker, right?
Right.
Oh.
or still playing in a terrible band.
So you used to be a punk rocker?
Yeah,
all right.
did all that for a long time growing up, and then
Were you in a band?
I was in lots of bands.
Oh,
Just-
okay,
I was
coolest punk band name.
oh,
you played in.
shitloads of fuck all.
Yeah!
Yeah.
That is an
It's
awesome
amazing.
punk
Yeah.
name right
Yeah.
off the bat.
Sofa.
Oh, it
Where would
seems
you
so like
guys-
inviting at first, and
Yeah.
then you're like, oh wait, this
No.
stands for something.
It gets real in a hurry. So were you guys playing in Toronto like all the time?
Oh yeah, we
There
played.
must have been so many more clubs back then. Was this the 90s?
Yeah. Well, like Big Bop was still the spot, and there was like Holy Joe's upstairs. Like Queen and Bathurst.
Yeah.
It's like a furniture store now,
Oh.
but it was like, yeah, we played there all the time.
Well, was it like a warehouse?
No, it
Or
was
just an
like,
actual club?
It was like 3 clubs on top of
Oh,
each other.
all right.
All
Yeah.
different, all for punk specifically.
Mostly,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's pretty
yeah,
badass,
yeah.
And what do you play?
I played bass.
Okay, cool.
Oh, so
Yeah,
all right.
yeah,
Access to a lot of bands that way.
yeah, and easy. Yeah.
Awesome.
It allows you to participate. And
and then I traveled a lot too, like on the street, like kind of like I was never homeless when I lived in Toronto, but a lot of my friends were.
Yeah.
okay,
Except that they ended up just like living at my house anyway, so then technically they weren't homeless anymore.
right.
Like if you live at my house, you're,
You're
not
not
homeless.
homeless.
Right?
There's a roof over your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I traveled the states and stuff, and like just like backpacking and
Oh,
like
cool.
sleeping outside and hopping trains and all that stuff.
Oh, dude.
Man, that's the
All
like
right.
on the road lifestyle.
Yeah, for sure.
No, literally, like
Yeah.
in the book. You're like,
pure homo.
I'm reading it again. This is all like from on the road.
Yeah, and so then when it was time to just like
Grow up a little
it
bit.
was, like, it was just easy, right? Because I knew that culture, I
Oh,
knew
yeah.
those people, so I was
You were
good
able
with
to help
speaking with them,
them. Yeah.
And they're like, "Wow, you're so good with these clients. what's your secret? And I was like, I talk to them like a human being.
Oh, man.
Could you imagine that? Yeah, they're like, whoa, it just blew their minds.
That's the one piece we forgot about. The one piece we didn't consider.
Yeah, a human being.
We've been trying condescending so long.
I know, yeah. Talking to them like they're idiots. That didn't work. Oh, man.
Yeah, so then I just started like that, and then I started going through school for it, that night school, because I was already working in the field, so I was doing all that. And then at night, I'd go to school and sit in night school and listen to somebody who just went through school for social work, and then start teaching other kids going through school for social work, and it was just like, okay, there's a bunch of crap I have to forget to do my actual job, right?
Yeah, because they won't take you if you don't have the the credentials or the degree or the diploma or whatever. Which is
But they work so much with like government people, and they're all about like gotta follow your procedures.
Oh,
and
follow make sure everything.
I mean, the political agenda.
Yeah.
Or more like the ass covering.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there would be. Yeah. All that. And then like other problems is like, are you working with the province, the city, municipality, and
Yeah,
I hate it.
You'd rather just like go out there and help.
Yeah.
Without the bullshit. Okay, so that's cool. So when you found comedy and improv and stuff, did you find that was that kind of like a release for you, or were you like, no, this is like the shift. This is where I like.
Oh, it was like definitely like in social work. They preach about self-care all the time. You have compassion fatigue in this field, so you have to practice good self-care. Right. And you're always like, yeah, okay, like I'll take a bath, like just like, relax, right?
Yeah.
But I've never had a problem with the balance of just like shutting it off and going home and relaxing. But like improv was like, oh, this is like self-care galore, right? Coming from like my job and going to play like or go to a class or play a show, it was like night and day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be so cushy by comparison. Just soft comedians everywhere.
Well, yeah, you're it's 8:30 in the morning, and you're breaking up a dirty needle fight behind like the the library, and then then 8:30 at night, you're pretending to drive a car.
Let's be bunnies.
Yeah, exactly.
Nick, do you want to go to your table of
No,
questions?
I don't. Like,
what?
I didn't know we were going into punk territory.
You just want to talk punk now?
Kinda.
Well,
but I'm like, so like you grew up doing that instead of doing like improv in school and stuff. So you're cool in front of a crowd.
Yeah,
and a punk crowd too. That's a specific audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's tough crowds, pretty judgmental.
Like you got to get them on board right away, or get hit by something.
Yeah, for sure. And
there's tons of humor in punk too.
Well,
like,
you have to have a sense of humor.
Right.
Like just look at
Oh, the band names and what the songs are. I guess the titles for songs and
all
stuff,
of it.
and what the songs are about.
Or just to pretend that you're like an anarchist or something, to play that like role while
you're in like
sipping on your Starbucks coffee. You know what I mean? Like hating the government.
It's a system, man. Oh, this caramel latte's delicious.
Exactly. I'll meet you at the gig. I just got to pop in the bank and pay my hydro bill. Right? It's pretty funny.
Sticking it to the man. I'm paying it
on time.
But no,
exactly on time.
There's 1 day left.
There are real anarchists, like collectives and punk bands involved in that, but not here.
Not in Toronto.
No.
It's probably because of like we've got a little bit of socialism. We're not a totally evil country. Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. I've never I don't think I have much experience with punk. You know.
Oh. There are clubs in St. Catharines, but
I would never have gone to a punk club.
Okay.
I'm one of those soft improvisers you're talking about.
I started when I was like 14 years old. I was playing in bands. And it was cool when I was young, because I was like, this is something, right? And
that's like the perfect age for it.
Yeah, but then when I grow up, finished wasting so many years, and it was like, this community gave me nothing, really. That's like, it's not like, really, like, in comparison to, like, the improv community.
Yes.
Oh,
so supportive and so, like, really, really, truly great.
Right? Yeah, because you're everywhere in the improv community, and you're, like, active in the improv community. Like, what? You just got something at Bad Dog. What was it at Bad Dog? Like a mentorship, or not a mentorship, or something like that.
I did a mentorship program there called Big Dog, Little Dog.
Yeah.
And that was great.
And so, were you mentoring someone, or
no? I was the little dog.
Okay.
I was.
I have a hard time believing that.
No, Alia was running it. And,
okay.
And I was in a class with her, and I asked her if I was too old to be a little dog, or because I wasn't really a bad dog player,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And she was like, "No, sign up for it. You're fine, right?" So I put in for it and told them what I wanted out of it, just to, meet some people in that community, and they hooked me up with Connor Lowe.
Oh, great.
And we just basically went for a few beers here and there and shot the shit, and and then that was it. I got to played some shows, and then they let me produce like an hour of the 24-hour marathon.
What was your hour?
It was Whose Line Is It Anyway in Hell? and the improvisers hated it, and some of them left, and the woman that was working the theater came up to me and told me I had to stop this now because they were cracking up, and it was like, I was like, "What are you talking about? This is my show, like."
Why?
So they broke the show and then made us just do like some like short form games for the end of it. And
why did they break it up?
It was weird. It was like,
was it not meant to be funny or something? Or
well, I thought it was hilarious, but it was just like it was so late in their marathon.
It's 24 hours. Like, you've got the whole time. Like, so you need to fill it in with crazy shit.
But I just had it on like a loop. Like I was playing like Bela Lugosi, right? Who playing Dracula in Hell, and I made them all be dead celebrities, and then I just made them play games right from the show, like straight out of the scripts of Whose Line.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
But I had it all good. Yeah, but I had it on a loop, right? So then it would go back. And they'd have to play the same games again, right?
Because that's
faster
hell.
and faster.
It would be like in hell.
We're not in heaven, right? So it was like the third time around when we hit hoedown. I was always like, "No points," and they were like, "What the?" Like one guy left, and I was like,
they didn't see that it was like a thing inside a thing. Yeah. They thought it was like this is just like what improv is. But you were like, no, I'm fucking with improv. It was
conceptual, yeah, for sure. So I took it as a success. So that was cool. And then I took like some more classes there. Like I got into audition for the narrative class that I'm taking now.
Yeah. And
then from there I auditioned for feature players.
Yeah.
And I actually got that, so I'm doing that right now too.
Nice. Fun.
So they give you a ton of stage time in that, and they've just been amazing to me. I love Bad Dogs. Like
I'm just taking it. I took my this is my first class with them ever just now, and I'm like loving it. I don't know, like Alex Tyndall is like amazing.
Everybody, all the instructors.
I've never had any of the other ones, so I'm kind of like all my attention is like Alex is the greatest teacher.
I've never even taken a class with him, but I know that he's amazing. Just like watching your class, just see like his side coaching. He's like, this guy's awesome. I love this class. I don't even take it.
Do you have a favorite format in your narrative class right now? Because you're doing so many different formats, so many different narrative formats. Maybe you could. Nick looks like he's like, what is this?
The narrative studio. I had that as a question. Like,
okay,
what is that? Is that at Bad Dog or
yeah?
Yeah, that's at Bad Dog. Aton teaches that, and that's like an ensemble that goes in to like all forms of narrative, long form improv, and we do like we're studying like all different genres, and it's like each show we're trying like different genres, like like
a horror,
horror genre, but
Western.
The guy who teaches it is like so steeped in like storytelling. He's so knowledgeable that it's like.
I bet you would like narrative.
That's
improv.
What I was like. Ooh, narrative improv.
For sure, because you're a writer, and you're.
I like the structure, and I like writing.
Yeah. And they're like writing a story on the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of why there's a whole bunch of the podcasts where they're playing D&D.
Yeah.
And I like that because it gives, like, there's a lot of improv, but you got stuff that you got to do that makes sense. Like, we're on a quest, we have to do this mission.
But a lot of improv is like quest, like narrative is like the quest based, and the hero's journey and that kind of stuff.
I haven't experienced any of that stuff, though. I'm always going with yours, and it seems more game, like shorter stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas this sounds like, is that like an hour long?
Yeah, well, the graduation shows will be, and some of our Academy Tuesdays are like 40 minutes if we're there.
Okay, cool.
But like I think for the grad show you get like a full hour.
So how does it work? Like, how do you plan on what your narrative is going to be? Is that like set out at the start of the session, or?
Yeah, I think we decide beforehand, and then you get your suggestion basically.
Oh, all right.
Right, to just like make the audience feel like they're that much of a part of it, right? And just set you off on your quest or whatever form you're doing, right? Like the heist is when we're studying, and or like there's tons upstairs, downstairs.
Oh, that's like a Downton Abbey kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. There's just tons of them. We in class the other day we just did like teen, like a teen, but we mixed it with like a monster movie, right?
Oh, teen monster movie. Yeah.
So Buffy.
Yeah, exactly. We talked about Buffy for like a half an hour.
So it's like basically turning in your favorite genre of film or whatever into an improv show.
Yeah.
Holodeck Follies.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
All right, I got you.
Every new episode is a new episode of a Star Trek for them. Yeah. Is that And that's definitely narrative. Because every new show they do is a new episode, and then so it's almost like because there's like narrative soap opera kind of stuff too.
So does it on go?
Yeah,
it does on go indeed.
So like everything that happened in the past, like
holy shit! So you gotta remember that.
Well, they probably I think they have
the recording.
They must have somebody like.
They get one of those
it must be somebody. It's probably
they get a court
Velvet.
stenographer.
It's definitely Velvet.
It's definitely Velvet. He's got like the whole like Bible, I bet, filled out about what happened in every episode.
Yeah.
And the cast, the cast is the same, right? Is follows the whole way, so they've been there the whole time. And like one of the characters is the ship, and or the computer, I guess I should say. So like,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right,
There's
cool.
been some changes along the way because I think for a while Velvet was the captain, and that's no longer the case. So anyway, who knows? But it's just like, I must.
Maybe he's the admiral now. It's like he wants to get his ship back. Sorry.
Yeah, there you go. Nick's gonna start his own Star Trek improv show now. Do you have a favorite genre that you like to play in, or do you have a favorite? What's your favorite like improv style or improv whatever?
Oh,
because you've done like you're in the middle of the narrative one. You've done
the Cat's Cradle was wild.
Yeah,
I like that a lot. I don't think we ever like really nailed it down in our time, but it was so much fun to rehearse
and that was Kirsten teaching
Kirsten
Rasmussen.
Yeah, and we just laughed so much just in the rehearsal of that. But that's
amazing.
Because of her, right? But
maybe you can explain to our listeners.
Cat's Cradle's like is you're getting your suggestion and doing a regular like long form improv, but there's no back line, right? You know, like where you watch the show and the people are sitting on the sides or the back, right?
So
everyone is moving constantly.
Okay. All right.
Like a piece of furniture or a piece of
anything. Yeah, exactly. Just part of the scenery, and then instead of just your standard boring sweep edits where someone just runs across, like you have to like do like it's more of like a swarm edit where each scene morphs into the new scene, but the in between is like its own
the transition's got to make sense.
The transition is it doesn't have to make sense, but it has to get you there organically, right?
Okay, yeah.
It's just like something like I've never done before, so it was like really, really cool.
Like I did a bit of Cat's Cradle with Rob in the long form conservatory. I feel like maybe we covered a couple. Maybe we did it for like a class or two, maybe. Mm. That was fun. It was fun. It's cool to become like, okay, so like you're a table, and then all of a sudden the main actors are like moving around, and you like sort of become what they need around where they are and stuff.
Yeah, like the JTS Brown.
I've never done that one. I want to learn that one.
Like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but that was really cool. I don't know if it was my favorite. I think everything's been my favorite.
Yeah.
Like every new thing I learn is like, now that's my favorite.
Because 4 years you're still like super new to it too, right?
Yeah. Right.
For sure.
Learning a lot. Yeah. How long have you been doing?
This is a weird question, right? Because I did it when I was in grade school and in high school, and then stopped doing it for 4 years, and then found it again afterwards.
Did you play the improv games?
No, because I went to a French school, so we played something. Yeah, it was almost like theater sports, but it's Quebec style. Like in Quebec, they have something called the Ligue Nationale de l'Impro.
Dude,
Cool.
they had it on like TFO and stuff, and it looks like a tiny hockey arena.
Yes.
Right.
The guys wear jerseys,
Yeah.
Right.
and
There's a ref who's like dressed like a ref, and things like when you talk about like taking the like going on stage, they call it like taking the ice and stuff too. It's very like hockey.
Yeah.
Right.
Everything is like hockey oriented, but it's very specific. Like the rules are very specific. So it's like, okay, this is what this improv scene is. This is what the title is going to be. You have this much time to do it. It's going to be like just one team versus one team, or sometimes it's like both, like a couple members from two different teams have to do it. And so like, and there's like points, and you get penalties if you like swear, depending on, you know.
If you
like,
speak English,
you get definitely. We used to get yelled at for that all the time.
Jerseyed, yeah.
Yeah. So that was another interesting. You're not allowed to use like props of any kind, but you could use your jersey as whatever you wanted to. So you could turn your jersey into a prop. But the weirdest thing, I think, comparatively, is...
was offsides.
Yeah, honestly,
just
how
hard
could
to-
they like? Yeah, it's hard to tell where the action. No, was that you were allowed a 30-second caucus beforehand, which I think is something that I've seen it in St. Cat. So I see the Brock Improv team does it. So it might be like this might be
Like
common.
region specific?
No, it might be common in the like university improv circuit, or even the high school circuit. This like we have 30 seconds to plan what we're gonna do, and then we're gonna go out there. And granted, you can't. What can you plan in 30 seconds?
Yeah.
It's not even to look anything the way you thought you were gonna plan it when you get out there. But like I think that was the most exciting transition from playing French improv to playing English improv. Was like no caucus, just get out there right now and do something. And I like that.
What,
so
like
much
just
more.
make it up?
Yes.
So how long
The
of a
plan.
break did you have from that?
So after high school, I don't think we did it all throughout high school either. Like eventually the drama teacher was like, not enough people are coming, we're not going to do it anymore. So it was kind of shitty.
Yeah.
So after high school, I went to university for, I did a victory lap, so 5 years. And after that, I found an improv drop-in kind of thing in Ottawa where I was living. And from there, I started doing more improv with them. And then I tried to audition for this other thing, but I found like the rest of the improv community in Ottawa was very closed off at that point. And I wanted to do more improv, and I wanted to do more comedy in general, take it more seriously. So I moved.
And then you went to
Toronto.
Clown College.
That's right.
Okay.
Where there was an improv component.
Cool.
So I moved to Toronto from there. Anyway, shit. I feel like people listening to the podcast have heard that before, but Joe hasn't heard that
No, that's
before.
I didn't get the
I'm up to
breakdown of
speed.
it
Now
either.
I'm up to speed.
Yeah.
I was busy having kids.
Yeah.
And living in
Scotland.
Scotland.
Yeah.
Humble brags.
Well, no, I was just away. Like I
You
missed all
weren't
that
here.
stuff.
Yeah.
No, I was on your website. Like, dude, it looks like a.
You have a
90
website? Did I miss your website?
Yeah, I guess if you haven't seen it,
Oh.
then you missed it.
Damn it.
It looks like a 90s zine on the
Okay.
internet. Do you run it? Like, did you design it and everything?
Yeah, I put it all up, but I don't really maintain it as much as I should. I have to fix it up so the mobile version is better, but yeah, I don't know. They said that's one of those things. They said you don't need it till you need it, right?
Oh yeah.
And they said, as a writer, when we were taking writing, you need a landing page or a performer, right? If someone's going to look for you, you want to have your own thing, so they find that first. Yeah.
Right? Do you remember Zines Free? Did you miss that too?
No, I remember zines.
Okay.
I think this looks like. Do you remember? Okay. Do you remember the episode of The Simpsons when like Homer discovers the internet and he starts just like putting like a bunch of like stuff on? Anyway, that's what.
Is that a good thing?
Sure. Yeah. It's funny.
It was
it's
kinda
funny
awesome.
to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I can do whatever I want on there because it's not.
I want to see there's
It's
like a
not like-
dancing Jesus on there.
It's not
There
really.
was-
It's really not for anything anyway. So
Alright, cool.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm supposed to have one set up. And I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna write about. Like,
it's easy.
so just put everything on there.
Put whatever you want on there. Put everything on there, like me and Homer.
Yeah. I have a website, Nick. Why don't you have a website? It's super easy to put a website.
I technically
together.
have one. It's a word space or word. What's it called?
WordPress.
There you go.
Great.
It's that. I've got like a defense of the prequels for Star Wars on there
That you wrote?
that I wrote.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And that's about it. So I gotta update it and I don't know. Maybe put my short stories on there or something.
not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, unless you're planning on publishing.
Yeah,
or
I guess I
pitching it.
shouldn't do that.
But you could write like specific short stories for that,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man.
right?
That's a
And
good
that's
point.
where they can live,
Yeah.
right?
I could totally do that.
Maybe
Yeah.
like blog.
Blog it out,
I know,
man.
but
Talk about what you're writing and what you're working on and that kind of stuff.
like, I would find that boring, and it's my life. So.
Yeah, but like, who cares? Other people will read it and they might find it helpful.
I don't know if I want to attract those people.
Why not?
No, I'm kidding. No, it's
Why
totally
not?
fine.
Don't you want people to read your shit?
That's like the entire purpose of this podcast as well.
Oh, the podcast. Oh, man.
Oh shit! I could advertise the podcast.
There you go. I've got that on mine, by the way.
Yeah, your Clown College Confessions.
No, my BrieWatson.com.
Oh, did you move everything there?
No.
Okay, never mind.
I also have Clown College Confessions. Clown College Confessions.
Oh, Bree's got
Two websites.
This is nuts.
Are you nuts? Okay, then the utility.
Oh, God.
Website. Then what else? There's.
You're sort of webmaster.
I'm not very good at this. There's also the Fantastic Funny Femmes, which we're changing, and this is the
for
Improv Niagara.
Improv Niagara.
5 things.
5 things. 5 things. All right. Nick was like, "What just happened?"
that was an improv thing that just happened right there.
We knew it was gonna happen.
And we planned this whole interview
In the caucus before we
30 seconds before the
even
pod
hated
started.
the word caucus. I was like, "Oh, dans les caucus."
I don't remember that.
Not a good word.
Don't lick cookies.
How's being a dad affecting your improv?
Oh, that's a great question.
Oh yeah, that's a.
Because I put down, I don't get enough sleep.
That's for sure.
Like
for
last
sure.
night, didn't sleep enough. I had a whiskey, so I feel like partially. One whiskey, I feel hungover this morning. So I was cranky as fuck. How do you power through that?
Well, I think you just have to completely go insane. You just have to give into the insanity of it. I mean,
Just go
sleep
with it.
is not going to happen ever again until your kid can get up and
Get themselves breakfast. Yeah.
so you're not sleeping in. And having a kid affected improv, like you get material, you get that perspective for sure. You are actually a dad, where someone can play a dad, but you are a dad.
You know what it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know other parents, so you can play all those freaks,
Oh,
right?
man, yeah.
Go to teachers, you can play the teachers,
Oh,
you know,
man.
and there's just like endless material there.
That's a good point.
Yeah, and then it's like a balance thing, right? Like our rule is, I'm supposed to be home as long as I'm home more than I'm not, then
It's cool.
all's fair in love and improv. It's a big strain too.
Yeah.
If I because I work in a different city than where I live, so I got to get up, and I'm on a 7 to 3 shift, so I'm up and out before anyone's awake.
I know that shift.
Right. So
That's what you do.
I do. I'm 6:30 till 3.
What time do you leave here?
All right. I wake up at 5. Oh, here.
Okay,
Sorry.
no, I know.
early,
Yes.
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
If I leave at like 5,
Yeah.
then I'm early for work.
Okay.
But if I leave at 5:15,
Oh, you're
then I'm
toast.
late.
Because of the
hate it.
traffic.
because of the commute. Yeah.
And
it's
you're driving.
just every day.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. But so if I come straight home from work, then I have dinner and the regular bath and bedtime family stuff. But if I have a show
Yeah.
or a class,
Yeah.
You're gonna
then
stay in
everyone's
town?
asleep when I get home.
Right.
Right. So if that happens twice in a row, it's good for me. I played 2 shows in a row, but I didn't see my kids for
Yeah.
48 hours,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that takes a toll on them. That takes a toll on me.
For sure.
Because like when you have a kid, you know,
They,
you're
they kind of like having you around. It's
yeah,
really
it's
weird.
a whole codependency. It's
Calm down, guys. Have boundaries.
yeah, like, grow up. It hasn't really changed anything because I've been.
I guess it kind of. Well, for you,
coincided, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
it sounded like it sparked.
Like
an
Adeline was
idea
just a
for you to
baby when I started improv, so I've been doing this her whole life.
Ah.
As long as she's known.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as she's been alive. Yeah.
And she knows Daddy goes and does shows, and she says break a leg and all that
Oh
stuff.
man, all right.
And she's all excited about maybe doing some of these camps that they have for kids at Bad
yeah.
Dog or Second City because they start at like 6.
Oh, cool.
So next year, we talk like.
I keep trying to get Nick's kids to do them, but they refuse.
Yeah. No,
yeah.
because we always like.
Coop's all into sports, and Mackenzie's like pretty artsy. But
I think by the time you tell us about them, we've had to have them booked and stuff like 3 months before.
Well, now
Not
I
a criticism
would like
against
you to know
you.
that they've existed this entire time, even
Yeah, no,
before I
still
told you about
no.
them.
It's already booked.
Yeah. Have you ever sought out any improv in Hamilton?
I went and seen it,
Yeah.
and it wasn't my cup of tea.
Okay.
Like what I saw, I
Yeah.
felt like I was already like doing bigger stuff in the city already.
Gotcha.
And moving on past from
For sure.
These classes or that group, and I don't know it well, but what I saw I was like, well, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm already doing this.
Bigger
lot
thing.
of big stuff in the city with my troupe and my classes, and
Yeah, I was just curious because I don't know what the scene is like in Hamilton.
Yeah,
that was one of my questions.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Nick.
No.
Please.
That is. It was like, how's the scene over here?
Right.
I don't really know.
All right.
I know they have a nice theater. I did like the 10-minute play contest they had here.
Cool.
Well, not a contest, but a festival.
Yeah. Is it at Staircase?
Yeah, the Staircase. So a nice little black
I've never
box
been
theater.
here, but I hear it's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen. I only went out to see the Improv once. And
Right. Would you ever bring your gang down here?
We played. There's these guys called Safety Zoo.
Okay.
That are here, and they live at this house.
Yeah.
A bunch of them all live together, and their house is called the Strange Barn, and they have parties there all the time, and they have a comedy show there with like stand in their living room.
Oh, great.
And they're a sketch troupe, but they get stand-up comics to come in and do their bits. And Pizza Cats went in and played.
Oh, nice.
There, and all the stand-ups before us made fun of improv.
Of course.
And then we, as they do. No, but then we had a good set. Everybody had a good time.
Yeah.
And then the Safety Zoo does their thing, and they just do sketch, and they do like the fake news and their thing, right? And we had them down to our show in Toronto too.
Oh, fun.
So that was cool. So Pizza Cats actually
pretty
played
good.
Hamilton.
Oh, there you go. That's great.
Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, I don't think it's a huge improv town.
How's the music scene still here? Is it?
I guess I don't really go to shows, but there's like there's like punk clubs, and there's like
Like the Arkells are from here, right?
Yeah, I think so. But is that a punk band?
No. But they're just
like rock.
They're straight up rock. Like
Yeah. There's a ton of venues here. There's like this ain't Hollywood's like an old punk bar.
Oh, cool.
And there's always shows going on. I don't go to them.
Yeah, I mean, if
because
you've
you're
got a family,
performing, you got a job and kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if I had like the choice, I'd rather go play a show.
Yeah.
Like improv show.
Then watch a music
Punk,
show,
some shitty punk band.
You've already done that. Yeah.
I don't care.
That part of
your
chapter of your
time.
life is
Like I have friends who have punk
shitty
bands
punk bands.
that come here, and I don't even go. It's like I don't even care.
Okay. Because you remember, like, you've done it.
I'm over it.
I've
and
heard
it's
those
also
3
more
chords.
like satisfying to get up on stage and do something yourself too, especially if you like to perform.
Yeah.
It's like
Improv is punk rock. That's the new punk rock.
Improv's the new punk rock. Well, now we have an episode title. That's fantastic.
That's a pretty solid title. Yeah, all right.
Okay, here we go. We're at the part of the episode where we ask Joe, what is I feel like I'll know the answer. Like, we probably already touched on it, but the biggest struggle that you have as a performer. What?
I can't believe it's that late into it already.
I know, this has just been flying.
Yeah.
This is just such a delightful chat.
You never know what Bree is. She's always sarcastic.
I'm
Oh,
not.
no, I've got the same problem too. Like, I've heard myself recorded on the phone. It's like, oh my god, I sound so sarcastic.
I once did I used to dance. I did like a ballet performance, and my brother was like, "You looked so sarcastic," and I was like, "I didn't say anything. I was just dancing
sarcastically.
I was like, how do you do that anyway? I still remember that. And I was like, "No, I'm trying so hard to be sincere. It never works out the way I want it to." Nah. Anyway.
Yeah. What's the biggest struggle
That you have, as a performer.
as a performer?
Or are there
As a
any?
human.
As a human. Oh no. That's why we're
As
so
an
sarcastic.
earth person.
We're not.
It's got to be the balance, like with the kids and my wife and the rest of my family and like. Improv.
Are they all back in Toronto too? Or...
No, my family's all over the place. But
Okay, cool.
like if the balance isn't perfect, then something's suffering, right?
Right.
So if you're not giving enough at home, that's suffering. Your relationship there is suffering.
Yep.
If you're not getting your your chops up,
You're going to be
doing
grumpy
improv,
about it.
you're going to be, that's going to suffer. So it's just that balance. That's the biggest struggle is to strike that perfect balance.
Yeah.
Sleep, you're too tired, you're pushing it. And then it's like, if you're like, a lot of times you should just go home and sleep probably. But you have a show scheduled and you're going to go to that show.
Yeah.
And play it. And then you have a shit
sick.
show and you feel like even worse, right?
Yeah, because like you're extra tired. You have a shit show.
Like, what was I had no business being here trying to perform. Like
supposed to be here today.
I slept for 2 hours last night. Like, I'm gonna come up here and brilliant or funny for you. Like, it's like, you know, you're just like, so the balance, is the trickiest thing for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and it's very rare to hit the perfect stride and balance it perfectly. You can't.
Especially your kids are so young, you know, like they're still so wee that they still need like constant
it's a lot of parenting. It's the morning rush,
which I miss for work.
Right.
Anyway, so that
but on the weekends though, you're not gonna get any rest.
No, there's no rest. No rest.
Look how comfy this basement is. You never escape down here.
Well, this is I come down here all the time, watch movies, and just like hide. You know, you know, this is my little.
You need it.
Fortress.
Yeah. Fortress sounds good. Mm-hmm. It does look like a comfy fortress.
Yeah, but it's just, you can see it's just this section and it's moving in, right?
It is taking over.
It's all like I don't know, but you can't make everybody happy all the time, right? So I find like I'm always being like, who am I gonna just flat out say no to and piss off?
But I guess it's hard if the two priorities are very important to you.
Yeah, which they are, but of course family is first and foremost. But I'm saying, if I'm saying no, like to the family, like no, I've got a show, and I'm not doing that thing. Then it's like, you know, it's like, you know, that's the struggle, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you have to. It's like, no, I need to. Like when I got featured players, it was like, look, if I get this, it's going to be Saturdays for like a year.
Yeah.
And that's like my day off, right?
Yeah.
So, but
you want to do it, yeah.
That's amazing for your development on stage.
Yeah, it's just selfish for me. It was like, this is just for me for like a year, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's the thing though. Like you just said, selfish, but it's like it's what you kind of need though.
Yeah,
like,
you have to be selfish as well as giving.
Well, it's like you said right at the beginning. You were like, in your job, they need you to practice self-care, and if this is self-care for you at the same time,
I use that excuse all the time. That gets me.
But it's not an excuse. It's like the truth.
It's true.
Yeah.
No, it is. It is, and it's good. It's good for me. I get so much joy from improv that nobody that knows me would ever argue that I should be doing it, right? They're just like, yeah, go. Like my wife is just like, yeah, do it.
Get it out of here. Yeah,
you love it.
Go do it. Yeah.
Just have it.
Did she love watching you? Has she seen you play a bunch?
She did in the beginning, but
it'd be tough with kids though, because you're both out. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, like babysitter every once in a while.
Every once in a while, she was actually at the Whose Line Is It in Hell. She came to that show of all the shows.
Did she love it, or was she?
Yeah, no, she got it. She thought it was funny, especially when I got shut down. She was like, "That was like the best one that really happened." It was like,
man, that is punk rock.
Yeah,
totally is.
Yeah. But she doesn't get out to like shows hardly ever, but she will.
Yeah.
You know? And hopefully they're good that night, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's almost no guarantee with improv. Yeah.
It's like someone comes to see you and you've been dying for them to come and see your troupe or your show, and you shit the bed, and they're like, that's why you spend your time away from your kids. You're away from your family for that?
Or even if it's not like shitty, but it's just like a dumb night where you just do like really stupid stuff, and you're like, great,
bunnies, your bunnies,
you're great, I'm wonderful. Very happy for you.
You're a wonderful bunny.
Have you ever thought about other like comedy stuff, or are you like just like improv and that's it, like stand up or sketch or anything like that?
I did stand up for like a year.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And it was like that seemed like there just wasn't time for it with
not,
improv.
That's not self-care.
No, and that's a bad scene too. Yeah. Like it's just a bunch of like miserable, like weird, jealous, angry people that are like.
I get it, guys. I should be a stand-up.
Yeah. They're just not. It's not supportive. Like when you do a great job, like wow, great show. They're like, you could go do a good set, and they'd be like, who the fuck's this guy? He's no funnier than me.
And at the end of the night, they're still like, yeah, great show.
Yeah,
it
was full of shit.
I know you're lying.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I'd like to go back. Like, like when I'm old, I want to say I'll probably just. I can't wait till I'm old just to say weird shit to people. But to do stand up when I'm older or something, when it's like a young person's game to chase the open mics. And
the open mics for sure, yeah.
There was no time for it. It was so I was enjoying it because I love stand up.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, I'm really just chopping, trying to get this hot five, and it was like I was digging it.
Yeah.
But then something had to go because I was doing improv, and it was like there was no way I would let improv go for stand.
Oh, there you go. That's how you know
It
that's
was just like, psh, see it.
Yeah.
that's your calling.
And then sketch, I did like I had a duo with my friend Mike called LSD.
That's right. I remember.
We played your show, I think.
Yeah.
At the very beginning, I think that was our first show.
On Jill and my show, Exit Pursued by a Bear.
Oh,
with
okay.
my friends. Yeah.
Right, back then. And we played for like a year, and it was with Mike and LSD that we did that 10-minute play here.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It was basically just like 4 sketches.
A couple
like,
sketches. Yeah.
And but then Mike kind of like he fell off and he wasn't interested, and I met him in the training center, and
Okay.
then he stopped. He's like straight laced guy. He went to MIT. He's a banker, right? So then he just kind of fell off, and then that was the end of it.
Well, that happens a lot.
Yeah. But I was enjoying it. I like sketch.
Yeah.
And now I'm working with
Kate
Kate Fenton
did the conservatory too, so that's
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. And
You're working with Kate.
Kate and Dana Puttycombe and maybe Molly Flood too. We have this thing called Fruits and Vegetables. That's going to be sketch.
Oh, fun.
So, but maybe not Molly because she's pretty busy. But
yeah.
Not that they're not busy too. So I don't know what Molly's excuse is. She should just. I think
that's the hardest thing about sketch is like getting everybody together.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I missed a joke by Joe.
No. It's all good.
I was getting everybody because like improv, you just like you don't have to plan. You just like show up and you do the thing. Right?
Yeah, unscripted.
Exactly. Whereas like you have to like schedule time to sit down together and write together.
And even playing and performing, right?
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like there's the nerves from that. Like, oh, we have lines. Like,
Yeah,
this
exactly.
is not
Yeah.
Nobody's just gonna be a bunny.
No, exactly.
You know?
Yeah. No. I love being bunnies in improv.
Yeah. But so I want to get back into sketch for sure and write some stuff with those guys and get into it.
Nice.
Yeah.
What was your draw to comedy? Like that, you said like 4 years ago, it kind of clicked. So what was going on?
Well, it makes sense if it was a Night of the Living Dead thing now that I see like the movies down here.
Yeah, I like horror movies. But I like comedies too. Well, horror movies are pretty much just comedies, right?
They kind of are.
It's like tension, and then they cut the tension, and you're gonna laugh, right? And like, but like I always loved like Saturday Night Live. I watched my whole life, like since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And then when I was really little, like my grandpa had a satellite, so I was watching like Belushi and Aykroyd when I was little, like, and all that shit. Like I loved SNL and just comedy, like, and then stand up and like you know,
Evening at the Improv.
Yeah, like all the time, like with the brick wall, and like, hey, who are these people? All that's, you know, what's the deal with the peanuts? All those assholes.
Peanuts
right?
on the airplane.
Yeah.
What's the deal with the
But it was so
airplane?
cool to watch them. Like it was on A&E.
Yep.
I watched that all the time. I loved it. It was like, man, these guys
So
are.
it wasn't until you went to like a show that you were like, I can.
No, I just didn't. I wasn't. I don't know. Like I got sidetracked, like with like partying and just getting involved in like drugs and alcohol and party and traveling and just like I wasn't doing like any theater and stuff like that. Right? I was like in the theater of life, right?
Oh,
It like just like in that circus, but so I didn't get into it. And then when we were about to have our baby, you start thinking like
less drugs and alcohol.
Well, no drugs. Yeah, definitely less. Preferably none. Right? But I was like thinking about, like, I was on the train of thought, like, I want this kid to just be so confident and just do just chase her dreams and just do everything she, you know, have it all. And then we saw that show and it started clicking, like, that was what I always wanted to do. And I lost track of it. So I was like, I have to follow that because that's my dream.
Yeah.
That's when I signed up and got into it.
Oh.
And then I just, like, didn't go away. I just stuck around and, kept like having fun and you know.
Ooh, it's fun, man.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
It's the best.
I know.
It's like pure joy.
Yeah. You're just like constantly surprised by yourself and your friends.
Yeah.
Ugh, so fun.
It's the best.
And it's basically just trying to make everyone laugh.
Yeah.
Which is the
fun.
best. Yeah. It's like the definition of fun.
Oh man, there's nothing better than if you just like drop a line that just kills.
Yeah. That feels good. But so is like just like laughing at yourself.
Oh yeah.
You know, when that's natural.
It's an important life skill.
Yeah.
The best. So I just never looked back and I just kept going, and then there's always somewhere else to go, right? And something else to try out for, and you know, like the next bar, right?
Yeah.
And that's that.
But then you achieve level 57 improviser, and then it's all done.
Yeah, then
You've improved everything that there was to improv.
yeah.
That's not even.
Then you have to work for the CBC.
Yeah. Or move to the States.
I've become the bunny.
Is there anything you want to like plug or anything you would like to talk about that maybe we haven't, maybe that we missed?
Plugging Pepperoni Pizza Cats show at Social Capital Theater every third Wednesday of the month.
Love it.
9:30 on the third floor.
I played that show. It is always a lot of fun.
Always a good time.
Yeah.
Featured players early show every Saturday at 7. Bad Dog Theater.
Nice. That's such a great time. Like if you've got like kids, like I feel like it's like, I don't know, you can't really bring your kids. What am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is if you've got a job, like right after, it's Saturdays, right?
Yeah.
You're not out too late.
Yeah,
You can have a dinner either before or after.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, late night dinner.
Yeah.
It's good times.
You can drink either before, during, and after.
An appetizer or dessert.
That's right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for coming by. It was
thanks,
great to meet you, Nick.
Nice
For sure,
to meet you,
for
Joe.
sure.
Thanks for
We're
having
shaking
us.
hands.
Shaking hands
have a
on
good
the pod.
time.
That's audio medium.
Yeah, I have to describe it. Their hands are interlocked.
It was firm.
And a kind of shaking motion is taking place.
It was It was fire.
Like
Spelled with a Y.
Yeah.
With a Y.
No, because that was a success.
Oh.
The handshake. Anyway, thank you so much, Joe.
Thank you, Bree.
Check out all of Joe's amazing improv and future sketch projects. And struggle on.
Struggle on.
Struggle on.
And
Well, there you go.
that was episode 53 with Joe Amero.
Wow, 53.
Wasn't that a great chat?
I had fun.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I learned so much about my friend Joe.
It's a solid dude.
Yeah, sometimes you just like watch people perform forever and you're like, what's that guy's story? And you
Yeah.
don't know because you're like, every time you meet, it's like performance and not like sit down and chatty chat.
Yeah, some real talk today.
Hashtag real talk. Wait, you didn't like that?
We're hashtagging a lot.
We're going to read
That's fine. Because we social media.
If you like social media and hashtag, and you should definitely follow the Constant Struggle podcast on your various social medias.
Yeah.
We're on Facebook. We're the Constant Struggle podcast on Facebook. You can like us, or you can follow us on Twitter at StrugglePod, or you can follow us on
Also at
Instagram.
Also
at StrugglePod.
Yeah.
Yeah. So check us out on those mediums. If you have anything in this episode came out that you're like, that's amazing, you want to talk about, or you want to ask any questions or anything like that, or you want to be on the podcast, feel free to reach out on any of the social channels, or you can email us, or mostly social channel us.
Yeah, we're pretty easy to find there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Struggle on, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Struggle on. La 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 la.
That's awesome.